Okay, so I'm gonna turn this fan off. Thankfully, the weather has been a little better lately, so I don't have to run the fans and air so much. Okay, so we're gonna talk about one app today, and it's called Electric Vintage. And I have had this app for quite a while, but I did not use it. Part of the reason was there's so many apps that do a vintage piano, and I feel like, when you get overwhelmed with too many of the apps that do the same thing, you tend to just overlook an app. So let me give you what it sounds like. Okay, we're gonna initialize. So that is the basic sound of it. There are presets built into this app. One second while I silence this phone for a quick minute. Built into this app. And these first presets are the main ones that you'll probably use. Okay, then there's a bunch of other ones. I'll show you one more. So this is proof you can do all kinds of sounds in here, which I didn't pay attention to much, to be honest with you. And you can see who the person who made it up there is. Okay. This is a unique sound. What's cool in the standalone is I just like the look of it, the layout, everything. So you can see you have 2 pages of effects, like your EQ, your phaser, your slicer, your chorus, wah-wah, reverb, distortion, stereo delay. And these are your main controls for everything that exists right here. And then down here below, you can see, I'm gonna turn that off. You can see that you have your ADSR, you have your pitch, right, and pitch, and then mod wheel, and then a couple effects that you can navigate through depending on. Right, and then the frequency, and then you can lock them, and then of course the sustain. So, and then these plus minus allow you to expand the keyboard on the screen. So this goes from just being your standard electric vintage piano to some pretty unique sounds. Now, one of my favorite features on here, oh, by the way, I'm not sure, but there is this folder called samples. So I'm not sure if that means you can bring in samples. I do see here you can set your keyboard mode to wherever you want it to be. I've not really used this enough to know there is a gyroscope that exists, and of course the LFOs that exist. Okay, and then there's a settings portion if you need to make any adjustments in there. I do not know how much this costs, because when you watch it, it could be randomly. I bought this, I feel like over a year ago, and just haven't really touched it. But here's one of my favorite things that I didn't know existed in this. And it may have been added since the time I bought it. I don't know. It's been a while. But it's create random sounds. You guys know, if you watch my videos, I'm not a sound designer. And I like to have something where I can feel like I'm a part of the creative process of making the sound, but yet not have to do a whole bunch of work. Yeah. Anyway, here's the button here. This one I think goes back and forth to the presets, and then this one just changes at all. So if you look, you can see the controls change when I click it. Let me give you a regular sound. Hold on. Open presets. This is one I did that's just real basic, in my opinion. Okay, now I'm going to do the preset for you. Create a random sound. How random is that? You can see it's not crazy random. I'm going to put it at 50% because I guess that's as max as it goes. Okay, yeah, so that's, if you really want something different, put it on 50. That sounds really good, actually. And then, this is nice. So, I will say this is probably one of my slept on apps that I really appreciate and think it sounds really good. And yeah, I mean, you can't beat that. So let's do this. Here's probably why I slept on it. I don't know when this dropped, but look at this. When you open the AUV3, I don't know, but it just don't look as inviting to me as the standalone. Okay, then here's all your features, right? So they do have most of the features are all still there. It's not like they're gone, but this is a lot of menu jumping. In my opinion, I would rather see it just like the standalone. The other thing is, when you click here, there's a select a random preset, but there is no create a random preset. And for me, that's kind of a disappointment because I'm not building in standalone most of the time. Most of the time, I'd probably build something in AUM, using it as an AUV3. If I was using it in Logic, which I don't use, but if I were, I would be using, or even Beatmaker 3, I'd be using the AUV3. So it would be nice if APESoft made the AUV3 match the actual, made it match the actual standalone, because the standalone is great, in my opinion. So anyway, that's what you got here. So you can open presets, but if you want to build presets and you want to use the randomize feature, I would say build your presets in the standalone. Sometimes it stinks though, because it's like my inspiration is at that moment, right? I don't want to have to jump into one app, then work on it, save it, then jump back to the AUV3 just to use it. So that's kind of a downside, in my opinion, of using it. So yeah, I think that's something that I wish they would fix, but who am I, right? I'm just a regular old guy. All right, so of course we all know you can add different effects and things to your plugins to make it, super unique. Pretty interesting. So, fun plugin to use. Check it out if you haven't got it. I would love to go through plugins I actually like on iOS. Not all plugins are great. Some of them have only specific uses, but it's fun to discover ones that you've had for over a year, and then realize, oh, this is pretty cool. But sometimes it takes somebody else introducing it to you to even give it a shot, right? So that's it for this video. I'll be doing more videos on some plugins I use, and we'll go from there. All right, I'm out.